Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here yet, my name is Laura and my husband Maverick and I recently moved to a small rental house where we don't have a lot of counter space in the kitchen. And so something I've been wanting to do for a while, even back when we were in the apartment, was create a coffee station. And I didn't just want to buy a coffee cart, one, because they can take up a good amount of space, two, because I just clearly like personalizing whatever comes into my house if I can help it. That being said, I found a little cabinet on Facebook Marketplace for 10 bucks. And so I went and picked it up, and it basically just sat in the apartment for like a month or so. I don't need to tell you all of this stuff. The bottom line is I got this. Today you get to watch what essentially took place over the course of like 3 or 4 months. Like it has taken me a while to get this project done. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If you dig what you see here, I'm all about it and we can be friends. The first step was to remove the little round legs, which were strangely held in by a mixture of nails and screws.
Here for these. Oh.
It's okay, I didn't have a joke. I was just waiting for one to pop out. I knew I wanted to replace the stubby little legs with longer legs, which would elevate the whole cabinet, so we started with these guys, which I found at Lowe's. Feels good. The wood just feels really weak.
No?
Let's just go ahead and dry them off. Here I'm using wood filler to deal with the carnage that the nails and screws left behind on the inside. As you guys have seen me do a few times now, I sanded the piece all over where I plan to paint it. This just gives the paint a better surface to adhere to. I also wiped down the piece to get all the extra sawdust cleaned off. And don't forget to burp your baby to get all the sawdust from the inside. Actually quite torn about what to do for the hardware. I've got some hinges and some screws, and I've also got this little knob that I bought that I was thinking I would use for this, since the main front sheet is like this same type of silvery metal. My only problem is I'm not like in love with silver. I don't mind it on this because it's kind of a more industrial look, and I probably should just commit to this for all of it, but I just want everything to be gold. On a whim, I began to paint the inside of the cabinet a creamy white, but I ended up not being in love with it, and thus a can was wasted. It's starting to get dark, so I'm gonna head in. But this is like, I don't know if I've ever had such a hard time getting vision for a piece, like being able to just visualize what it's gonna look like, what I want it to look like. The metal work is somewhere between like an industrial look and a farmhouse look. I'm not super into farmhouse, just kind of making it up as I go. And sometimes that works out great, but a lot of the time that really, really doesn't, so. My golden dreams were realized the next day when I learned that decision paralysis is a real thing, and if I didn't choose, I'd never get it done, so I took the plunge. I don't know about y'all, but I think it looks pretty stinking good. We're gonna set this aside while we work on the body.
Now that I had a real showstopper on the front of my cabinet, I was content to paint the rest of it a uniform matte black. I didn't realize at this point that I had accidentally grabbed my textured spray paint, so that added a little something something, I suppose. I painted about 3 coats and sanded in between all of them. Since I was going with yellow gold, I painted all the hardware the same color as the front panel. To replace the wooden legs we tried earlier, I bought some hairpin iron legs off of Amazon. They were relatively easy to install. I simply lined them up where I wanted them and marked with a metallic marker where to drill my holes. Here's where I forgot I was recording a time lapse and the microphone wouldn't be working. What I was simply trying to say is that I was concerned the screws would be too long for the bottom of the cabinet. But when I checked them again with the metal legs included, I saw it would be fine.
It should be just short enough.
Luckily, the screws went in perfectly and the legs felt nice and secure. So the problem we're facing here is simply that this is too long and it's blocking it from being able to respond to the magnet. So we can use some bolt cutters to cut off the excess there, or we could try a different handle. Hey, look at her go. Looking better than I thought it would. I totally have faith in myself. I then used masking tape to drill the holes for the hooks I wanted to put on the sides of the cabinet to hang my coffee cups on.